We got the sap shiner steaming, and she's a running. Hey guys, what's happening? We already started tapping maple trees, so you probably saw that in the last video. What I'm working on now is I'm gonna build a sap still, I guess, sap evaporator. What I'm gonna do is I gotta cut the top right here. I gotta cut 2 sections big enough for these stainless trays here, and we're gonna cut 2 holes in the top. That way they get direct heat from the stove. And there she is inside. It's pretty big. I'm probably gonna add a couple blocks to raise the fire up a little bit so that it's hitting directly underneath, because you want it boiling pretty good. So I'm gonna do that, and then what I kind of had the idea of is I'm gonna take this barrel and I'm gonna tap a hole in the bottom of it, raise it up with the bobcat real high, and I'm gonna run a line into this copper tubing and connect it, and then I'm gonna wrap it around the stack here. That way the sap, as it's coming out of the barrel and down, it's kind of getting warm. And then I'm gonna have a spigot coming out 2 sides, and I'm gonna have a little valve here. That way I can regulate how fast it's coming into the trays, and I'll just have to kind of find out, you know, how fast it's evaporating and set it as just like a steady little drip. So it's evaporating out as it's coming down through the copper tubing. It'll be warming it up. That way it's not going in cold, and it'll come in here and go to a boil and evaporate. So that's my plan. We'll see how she goes. Rock on. Well, I hope that's the hardest part of this project. Hey, Roosty. So yesterday we cut these 2 rectangles out for these trays. Sit on there nice. That way they'll get direct heat. So next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this copper pipe, and it's gonna be sticking out over the trays, and I'm gonna take a T at the end and have one going to this tray, one to this tray, and then have valves letting the sap out as needed. Let's wrap it around the pipe. Want it nice and tight. Okay, now you can move. Okay. All right, so we got her attached here. I got more copper to go up higher, but I think I'm gonna try this out, see how it works. A little flux. Atta boy, Roosty. All right, now we'll attach her to the main line. hopefully she took. Like I said, I ain't no plumber. All right, so we got our fire bricks in there, but it's pretty low. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these alum block cut caps, and they're about 3.5, 4 inches thick. I'm gonna raise the heat up a little bit so it's more direct heat. It'll fit in there perfect, looks like. Looks like 2 of them will be just right. Got a few more small pieces of block. Put aside over here. There we go. There she is on the inside. All we gotta do is hook our barrel up and let her flow. There goes nothing. We're gonna have a hole in our barrel. That's a thick barrel. Oh! We made it. Cutting off the burrs. Alright, now try and stick it in there. Go. Yep.
It went in. Woo! Wait, I did it.
You did it. Good job, honey. Alright guys, so this is what I came up with here. This is I call it my sap still, but it's a maple sap evaporator. And I'm pretty happy with how it came out. This is kind of what I had planned. Let me show you what we got going on. When we go out and we tapped all the trees and got all the buckets, we dumped them all into this barrel here. And we did about 5 runs, and each time we got about 3/4 of a barrel. So probably about 40, 45 gallons. And I showed you guys earlier how I tapped a hole in the barrel at the bottom. Comes through this line, cold. And I couldn't believe how cold it is right here. It's cold all the way down to here, and then it wraps around the stack. And when it gets down to here, you can't hold your hand on there for more than a second or two. Gets hot, it's flowing out just a little bit, and it's hot. In the beginning, I started with some shark bite connections for these valves here, and I ended up the second run I made, I started the fire to try and get the fire hot before I started running, and the fire shot up through my holes and melted the shark bites. But I wasn't too mad about it, because them shark bite fittings, when you put them on there, they're simple, but they're not stationary. They're not soldered. They want to spin, so you had to hold this side and the lever to adjust the valves, and they were a lot hotter, a lot smaller. So I came up with found these at Home Depot, soldered them on, and you can adjust how fast they're coming out, and once you get it adjusted, how your flow in and how fast it's evaporating, you just get a little. This one's maybe a little bit lighter right now, it's dripping, but once you get your flow right, it evaporates off as fast as she's flowing in. So simplified her. And one thing I found out is you always want to keep her hot. I got a bunch of skids I cut up. They're anywhere from 1x4s to 4x4s, and they burn great because they're hot, and you can just keep that flame. It needs direct heat hitting the bottoms of them pans. So she's a boiling away. I'll show you guys kind of what we got going a little closer here. You can adjust the valve here, but I just get like a slow little pee out of there, and that's about how fast she evaporates off. One other thing that I changed was this worm that I got on here. In the beginning, I had it all the way down at the bottom, and it was getting too hot. It was boiling up back into the barrel. So I took the worm, and right here you can see I got this little knob here. That's my damper. So pretty much I keep it most of the way shut. And when I took the worm, my copper pipe tubing, and put it above that damper, it didn't get so hot, so it didn't boil over. So she is coming out hot, but just right. It's not boiling up over anymore. So I think I got her pretty well tuned in and happy with how she's working. So we'll have it for years to come and make lots of syrup. So that's what I came up with. Hopefully you'll learn a little something and you can come up with your own sap still on your own. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, hang out with your kids because they're too much fun. Rock on, y'all. Bush, it's what's for dinner. I'll take one. Oh shit, my leg's burning. What do you think about it? Or just wondering what the hell did I do? Pretty cool though, huh?